What's up? It is Ray all day. We're here again. Another edition of Ray's Sports and Slams, brought to you by the good old people at Boink Studios, boinkstudios.com. It's where you can find us for all the latest and greatest. I am happy everybody's here today. This is a great show today. And dude, the fire is coming. Unfortunately, I am going to be eating some humble pie because I was wrong again. Shocked, a little discouraged, but it's okay. I will get over this. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, boinkstudios.com. Lots of great shows. Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, Bachman's Basement, and, of course, yours truly, Ray Sports and Slams, every Monday. Let me bring in the other person who didn't eat dinner, so he's hungry. He's going to be chomping down on some pie. Mr. Matt Garvin, what's up, sir?
Yeah, America. I've got this same shirt on here. We humbly took the oath to commit. I'm hungry tonight.
It's rough.
It's
the next person we're bringing on is full because he don't need to eat. He is the Nostradamus of sports. He's going to tell me when it's raining next time so I can get a new umbrella. If he'll tell me when it's snowing so I can get my show plower ready. If he lets me know when it's sunny out so I can get my beach attire ready, I would appreciate it. Nostradamus, Walter Duncan. What's up, sir?
Oh, my goodness, man. What's up, guys? Shout out to my guys. Boink Studios, glad to be here. America, we're going to do great things today. Let's get it.
Let's get it, dude. Oh, my God. First, let me start.
He's very nice, America.
I have my pie. Let me get into this.
I was informed I had to have chicken pot pie, so yep. I'm going to eat this live on air. Brother Duncan.
I'm eating my pie. I take it like a G. It's all good.
Man, America, I think there was one person from one of our fans. I don't know if it was Eric or Jeff. One of them was, they were with me on it. They picked the Cavs as well. So shout out to you, whoever you are. Let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments who predict the Cavs because.
Oh, and also if you want to see us eat a certain type of pie, as Mack and Ray keep saying, let us know if you want to see us eat a certain type of pie. If you want to see this again,
and then if you feel like we should have another pie bet on another conversation, let us know. Yep. Let us pick the terms and we will make everybody happy, dude. I am more than happy to oblige, dude. I take my lumps like a G, dude. It's all right. Good. I'm here. I'm humbled. I'm pieing. It's all good. It's all good. Our first
America, y'all hold up a second. America, y'all need to know how important it is. Had me and Ray won, you best better believe Walt would have to have two pies, one for Ray, one for me, and I'll be like, I think it's time for him to have another. Yeah, Walt, have another. So just know, America, he is entitled to gloat and brag and beat on us all he wants
all day, dude.
Because I would have done it to him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, America.
You would have had two pies. I was like ready to go. I was like, man, should I pick apple? What flavor does he like? Double fisted pies. But it's all good. Like I said, you got your shot, so it is what it is, man. All right, our first topic is the NBA lottery, which just came out. For those who are not familiar with the NBA lottery, this is a new 3-2-1 system. The format expands the draft basically from 14 to 16 teams, and it's missing the posting entirely of the 9 and 10 seeds. The losers of the 7 and 8 seeds alter their odds of getting a pick. So basically, the three worst teams in the league are penalized now with only 2 lottery balls, giving them less than a 6% chance of getting that number 1 pick. They can't pick no than number 12. Teams 4 to 10, finishing just outside the bottom 3, receive 3 lottery balls, and their chances increase almost to 9%. So here are my thoughts on this. And then I will go to Walt, and then I will go to Mack. I'm in favor of it because I know if I'm a young kid and I want to see Steph Curry or LeBron or one of these guys, and the team is trash, now you can't tank and force these guys to sit out. So you're forcing them to play. You're forcing them to put on a show regardless, and it makes it more competitive rather than just losing and saying, hey, we're going to get 3 lottery balls. It doesn't matter. Now you have to kind of force yourself. The downside is your superstar player, if your team is trash, is risking injury when he's like, hey, this team is going nowhere. What do I need to play these last 6 games when there's no shot in what of making the playoffs or even getting a sniff of a play-in or anything. So there's a double-edged sword to it. I myself personally, like I said, I think more positive than negative about it because now they're eliminating your odds of getting a higher pick now by tanking. So for that reason, I do understand the other argument, which is, like I said, a superstar like Anthony Edwards is, let's say he's on a trash team. He's going to his coach like, dude, you really want me to play? Like, we're down by 20. There's 6 games in the season left. I don't want to risk getting hurt and ruining my career. So, like I said, I do understand that argument. Well, you are the king of basketball. So tell us what you think, sir.
So, I think you hit the nail on the head there with everything that you just said. I think I go back to what Michael Jordan said in one of the interviews I saw him in. He and those guys in that generation, they wanted to always put on a show for the fans, right? Like Jordan said, the guy on the top rafter, he wanted to put a show for that guy because they're spending their hard-earned money to come see them play. So I think that is what is missing now in today's game. Like these guys, like you said, Ray, the superstar of the team, like there could be a losing season. They're thinking about, themselves because they are their own product. They are their own brand, right? So they're thinking like, hey, I need to protect myself and make sure I'm not getting hurt. I remember stories of Michael Jordan like playing with his feet bloody, and stuff like that. And, wanted to be out there and give his all. So I think it's good from that standpoint. It's going to stop that tanking and with these teams like purposely like just sitting their guys and not playing their guys because they just have a lost season. These fans still come out to go to a game because it's an experience for them, right? They're paying for an experience. They're paying to see these players, these athletes do amazing things. So I understand it. And look, the injury part, they can get injured at any time in the season, at the beginning, the middle, or the end. So I really don't think that should factor too much into the decision. I understand it increases the likelihood of it, but these guys need to go out there and play. Now, look, can you manage their minutes? Sure. Maybe they don't play, 30, 40 minutes. Maybe they play 25, and just like, you just give them a breather, give them a little bit more of a break during timeouts and stuff like that or whatever. So I totally understand, but I love this. Of course, it's going to have to be revisited after this season just to see how things work in the next lottery draft. But I think it's good. I think it's good for the NBA to try to stop the tanking. Okay,
Mack. Some 2 valid arguments. Before I even get to you, let me shout out some guests because people are commenting and I don't want to look like I am blowing away our guests. Jeff is in the house. What's up, sir? Thank you for watching.
What up, Jeff?
And he's like, I was up in the air with the game between the Cavs and Detroit. I thought for sure the Pistons would win, so it wasn't me. Thanks for paying attention. All right, Mack, I will go to you now. What do you think about this, and what are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I'm on board with both of you. And Michael Jordan, you're right. That guy who with his grandson, who's got this pot belly, took little man with him to the game, got the jersey on, the whole 9 yards, and they're both wearing 23 and get there, and then he's not playing. And then you see MJ on the sideline looking up at the stands because he knows that they came to see him. Today's athlete are more concerned, you're right, with their brand, more focused on what they have outside of court, of the basketball court, is their concern, not who's in the crowd. And it's unfortunate that their ability to performance to play is not predicated on attendance. They're paid for 82 games. Your contract of why you're getting this money is what you're getting is supposed to be for over, is it 82 or is it 72?
82.
82.
Okay, 82. Yeah, over 82 games. Injured or not, we're still going to pay you. Their money is guaranteed. You owe it to these fans to be able to play. And this is a direct result of Silverman understanding we have to do something. If not, our product is going to, and then when we start losing fans in the seats and raise the ticket price because fans aren't coming, then you aren't going to be able to pay these dudes all these millions of dollars that they want. And then that's when they would feel it dead. When we tell them flat out, we're just not going to pay that much because our fan base is dying because you aren't on the court.
All right. The other argument is, like I said, if you have a superstar on a really horrific team, because as a rule of thumb, most of the top picks go to the teams that are on the bottom. So if you're on a bottom feeding team, you're a superstar. Your ego. It's not like the Jordans or the Kobes of this year anymore. Everybody, like to Mack's point, is about themselves. But you're going to get a lot of players who are going to be really argumentative with their coach, like, "Hey, dude, why am I not even playing in this game? We have no chance of beating OKC, and my leg's a little sore or my back's a little bothering me." But now it's like like I said, you're forced to play him now because there's this new rule. Like, I think there's going to be certain protocols that you have to show that you're like legitimately hurt now. You can't just rest somebody because they're tired. So I'll start with Mack. How do you see this playing out long term? And not long term, but I say for this year.
Okay, so I'll give it to you flat out. It's as easy as this. We pay you for 82 games. Your contract does not stipulate you get to sit out when you want to. We've got all this sports science medicine, hyperbolic chambers, We've got all of this technology. If you're not conditioning for 82 games, why are we paying you? This is not fair to these contracts that they write, but they want these max money. They want these max contracts. Show me max ability. So whether he likes it or not, you're supposed to play. There's not provisions that says 82, 72 question mark, depending on circumstance and how you feel contract. It's not how it's written. They're supposed to be paid for 82 games, so they should play, regardless of whether they want to or not. And if it's a coach's decision to say, okay, you can sit out, I think there's going to be more now reports readily available to the fan to see his legitimate injury, because if he comes on the sideline, especially, bro, in full with sweats on, a suit on, or whatever, and just sitting on the sideline, and to me, what's wrong with him? Why is this? He even got his jersey on, bro. I know he ain't playing. That would be my concern as a fan, versus you better show me some report that's made available inside the stadium or something to make the fan aware. And how about this information be before I purchase a ticket?
Yes.
If we knew players weren't playing, who would go to a game?
But some of these people buy their tickets in advance. Like, you really want to see this game.
Yeah, but can we get a refund if I know so-and-so's not playing? Of course we can't do that.
Good arguments. What do you got?
No, you guys are both right. I think that we're going to see after this year, I think we're going to see some players. I'd be interested to see which players complain about it, right? Because I want to see if Ant-Man is going to fuss about it, because wasn't he the one who also said that they play too many games? 82 games is too much.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It may have been him, right? So I want to see. I don't like that from Ant-Man, right? And we can talk about other things he did, but that's another conversation, right? But like,
yes.
I think
that's another conversation.
I think that these guys need to work out, right? So LeBron, take his age, he's 40 plus, right? Mm-hmm. I can understand him not playing every game, which he didn't. He played 60 regular season games. But still, for a 40-year-old player, there's not a lot of them doing that, right? Most of them didn't play that much. They sat on the bench and they, just came in to spell people. But LeBron was an actual starter and, in there, like, scoring meaningful points. He averaged like over almost 21 points a game. So, like, I can understand that from his standpoint. But you have these young, able-bodied men that are just sitting on the bench collecting a paycheck, while these fans who probably don't even make 1% or 10% of what these players make, and they're spending their hard-earned cash to come support their team. And some of these people are lifelong fans. Some of these people are season ticket holders, and they want to see their local superstars or the team superstars play. And I think they deserve that.
Facts, dude. Facts. Let me read some comments. Jeff also says, it's like having the Lakers come to town. I'd be so happy. And LeBron, who everyone came to see, does not play. It's unfair to the fans. Yeah, dude, I agree. Yeah. Don Q in the house.
Donnie.
Podcast Rod Balls. Mr. Nick. Make it so that the guys miss too many regular season games, get penalized. And if their team gets into the playoffs, these guys are resting for playoff time.
Oof.
Good point, dude.
Love
Don
that.
Q in the house. You gotta reach out to me, Don. We got to get you back on the show, dude, because it's NBA season. I know you want to talk about your Knicks. We have to get you back on here soon. All right, our next topic, we have to talk about it. It's a little early, but the Atlanta Braves are on fire. We were talking so much about the Dodgers, but the Braves are viewed as the top team in baseball right now. People are talking about them. They have the best record in baseball. Matt Olson is playing like an MVP. They're pitching. They're closing. And, at the end of the day, you have Acuna. You have these players that are just playing out of their brains right now. Michael Harris. They are gelling like I haven't seen before. Plus these pickups of Dom Smith. They're proving dividends. I'm going to let Walt go first. Mack go second. I will go third. Why are the Braves this good? What do you contribute it to? And why are the Dodgers a little bit kind of slipping a little bit? They're not what I thought they would be, and a lot of people are. Like the Dodgers have lost a lot of tight games. They're not this dominant juggernaut that I see the Braves are.
I think the Braves, they have their gelling, at the right time. It's early in the season, but we've seen teams do this, right? So I don't want to get too ahead of it, and say because we saw, I think it was the Mariners that were on running wild last season, and everybody said, hey, they're the number one pick right now, forecasted to go all the way to the World Series and potentially compete for a chip. And I don't think they even got close. I think they were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. So I'm excited for them. The Braves, they seem to have, they're a good team. They seem to have a good core. But I think when they last win the World Series, 2021.
21.
Only three guys, only three holdovers from that World Series team are on the team right now. So it's still a good team. I just say wait and see until October comes, because you could be balling out now during the regular season, and then playoffs come and you'll be home, sipping your Mai Tai or your choice of drink or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So and with the Dodgers, they have a lot of injuries, right? Snell, who signed with them, is injured pitching. Betts, he's been in and out of the lineup. Shohei Ohtani's kind of going through a slump right now. You know what I'm saying?
He is, dude, insane.
So on paper, they should be dominating, but right now they're not. But there's so many different things, so many different factors that feed into that. I think the Dodgers, as they start to get healthier, then I think we start to see them really, really come on. But I think that will be later in the season when we see that happen for them.
All right, Mac, what do you got, my friend?
Listen, man, I'm just gonna say this. Just Walt kind of touched on it. It's one of them deals where it's kind of like when we talked about the NBA at the beginning of the season. OKC was on fire. How long can they sustain this? They're up 20 games, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we got a long way to go. And, and this is kind of like Tom Berenger, with the Indians, that match, the movie Major League, he say, we got a far way to go. One game at a time. So right now, they're 32 wins and 15 losses. Right now, this is the best the league has seen this season, with over 30 wins already so far. But again, this is the first quarter of 162, right?
Yes, sir.
Of 162 games, bro. This isn't even the halfway mark. This is not even technically the quarter away. 32 and 15. So they're over a quarter of the season, but it's early. And you're right. Someone always comes out the bat doing well. We talked last week about Dela Cruz. The idea of this phenom in Cincinnati. No one knows where Cincinnati is as far as baseball goes, except them in Cincinnati. But that kid is standing out on his team right now. Mm-hmm. Right now, the Braves are it. They're the toast of the town. Listen, America, I even asked them, I said, we talk about, we haven't been here before, and Ray said we're going to talk about the Braves. They're red hot right now. Why? It's too early in the season, bro. Let's talk this halfway in. But he says they're hot right now. I'm like, okay. So we'll see. We'll see. And it also comes to a lot, just like Walt talked about, injuries for some. Everyone expecting the Dodgers to be over 30 games right now. They're not. And also, too, coaching in the lineup. The skipper's making good choices for him right now. So, yeah.
All right. Here's my take on this, dude. They're the first team to reach 30. So, kudos to them. I just think this is why I say sometimes baseball is about gelling. not necessarily having the best players. I think this team just meshes well. I think they play more as a unit. You know, they just feel each other out better. I think the Dodgers, you know, they could turn it around. I could be completely wrong 40 games later, but it looks right now it's a lot of individual ego and not a lot of team. So it's more about Ohtani, like, let me get my numbers. Mookie Betts and Ohtani are allegedly, underline in exclamation, allegedly not getting along. So, you know, I feel like they were the quickest to 30 of the Braves. They just seem, like I said, they're playing more as a team. You're hearing a lot of beef on the Dodgers. Like I said, Ohtani and Mookie Betts allegedly have beef. I know that Freeman and Ohtani have a little beef there, allegedly. So there's a lot of like this on that team. And I feel like baseball is a sport where it's like you have to have talent, but you've got to play as a team because it's a collective sport. What do you think? Well, do you agree that that's a bigger factor than the Braves just getting hot?
No, I think the Braves are just hot. They're gelling at the right time, and this happens in sports. We see streaks. Max just spoke to this with OKC at the beginning of the season. We were all thinking that these guys are going to go break the Golden State record because they were like 20-1 or 20-2. They haven't even lost that many games. And then I think Ray, you were the one that said, "Hey, let's just pump the brakes. Let's wait and see." Injuries and all these different things as teams adjust. So I think it's the same thing. We're a quarter of the way through, as Max stated, and there's still over like 100 games to go. So
yes,
let's just wait.
All right, we'll
let's just wait and see. And right now, the Dodgers are still first in their division, despite everything that they're going through. They're still first in their division. They're right behind the Braves in the win category. I think they're 3 games. They won 3 less games, so they're right at 29 wins. Right. So
yeah.
The Dodgers are right there. So I think everybody needs to just chill out a little bit. Kudos to the Braves for doing their thing. I support the Braves and stuff like that. But look, man, we still have to wait and see.
Facts. And to all you Met fans out there, we did win that Subway Series, so kudos to them. They went from suck to stink, so I'm a little happier now. It went from like funky to just a little BO, so I'm cool. We're getting there. We'll see. All right, go back to the sport we all love, the hoops. And the San Antonio Spurs are now in the Western Conference Finals. They beat the brakes out of Minnesota in Game 6, 139-109, to advance to Western Conference Finals. Stephen Castle led the Spurs with a double-double, 32 and 11. Wemby contributed 19. They shot 18 3-pointers and over-rebounded them 30-29. All right. I will say why this happened, and I also want to talk about Ant-Man. All right. First, Rudy Gobert. The objection of your position is to grab rebounds. Standing there and admiring someone grabbing rebounds is not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to like, wow, that was good. How'd you grab that? No. You're supposed to try to do it as well. It's like if I'm racing Walt, I don't say, wow, Walt, you're running fast. And I just stand there. My goal is to run and try to hopefully beat him or at least make it competitive. But I'm not admiring his work and say, wow, Walt, you got out the gate quick. Man, look at you go. Let me just stand there and take some pictures while he just skips right by me. Like, what are you doing, Rudy Gobert? I don't understand what that was. Ant-Man, you hugging and pounding this team. What are you doing, dude? I was defending you. Now I feel like I need to take that contract that was offering you to the Lakers. I may have to break that. I have to break that contract, dude. You letting me down. I'm all about competition. You want to pound people up before the game, but dude, after you just got your butt kicked, I'm not going over and saying, well, thanks for that butt kick. Can I have another? It was kind of rough. So I was against it. And I think that Minnesota's got to disassemble that team. I think that Randall is just not a Robin. He's more like Commissioner Gordon. He just can't. He's not a good second. He's not a Pippen to Jordan. He's not. He's a good player. I don't think he's a number 2. And Rudy Gobert, dude, man. Oh, I haven't seen. He was playing like DeAndre Ayton. I was like, what are you doing? That was rough, dude. It was rough.
Bad.
It was pretty bad, dude.
Ouch.
Mac, what you got?
All right. So America, just so you know, I was gonna start a new association, a new fan hate club, but I'm not going to give Ant any more credit on our show. No more. Listen, America, you all watched. I felt me personally, that this was an insult to sportsmanship and clearly telling your team we're trash with 8 minutes left to go in the game. I understand they were down 25, but 8 minutes left in game 7. Like Apollo Creed, there is no tomorrow. There was no other game. And you look at the scoreboard and make a decision and walk over to the opposing team, go down the line and shake their hands as if it was 8 seconds left on the clock. The fact that the coach allowed it, or for that matter, yell at him like, what are you doing? None of that happened. That means he must have ultimate control. Ant-Man must have ultimate control with the team, that the coach didn't even tell him, what are you doing? Or for that matter, when he came back to the side of the bench, leave. Get out my lot. I've never seen that happen before. LeBron, as much as I may not have different opinion with the guy, at least he'll stay in the game to the end of the game. I was so betrayed, and I hope Adam Silverman gives him some fine. I mean, it's the off season anyway. Who cares? But like, that's called unsportsmanlike conduct, man. Like I've never seen that happen. 8 seconds. Just like the Detroit Pistons when they played the Bulls and the Bulls finally beat them and they finally went to the playoffs. I mean, the finals for the first time. They all dipped out. They didn't shake hands after the game, but Isaiah led the charge and they all went to the locker room and they're like, "Oh, that's disrespectful." Well, at least the score was 0. At least there was no time left on the clock. I don't like this guy moving forward. I don't care for him no more.
All right, before we go to Walt, let me applaud you, because that was impressive. All right, Walt, what you got?
Look, man, kudos to the Spurs. Wemby and the guys, they're looking like, unstoppable right now. I'm looking forward to the next series that they play in. Minnesota, they put up a good fight. Ant-Man, he fought through some injuries. I think he was a nagging knee injury that he was playing through. And, that was a shot of life for them, right? Him returning for the series. So I think that kind of eyes up and got the adrenaline pumping a little bit. And then, reality kind of set in, and it was like, okay, the Spurs are just much better than them. The Spurs just have much more talent around Wemby. They're younger. They play with energy. They play defense. They do what they have to do. And like you both said that he really does. Ant-Man really doesn't have that second guy to go to. Instead of Julius Randle, his name should be Julius Randle, because
who is he? Where is he?
Where is he? You know what I'm saying?
I gotta applaud that.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and in terms of Rudy Gobert is a 7-footer. He's 7'1", but Wemby is 7'4". And in sports, what do we know? Inches matter. So they both have about the same amount, same wingspan, about 8 feet. So if a guy's 3 inches taller than you and quicker off of his feet, then of course he's probably going to more than likely win the rebounding game. If you don't, but Rudy Gobert looks a little bit bigger and stronger, in my opinion. So he should have used his strength and his size to kind of like just box him out a little bit more. So that's just a mental thing from that standpoint. Speaking to that point, Ray. But kudos to the Spurs, man.
And my other question to you is, what do you think of Ant-Man and his actions at the 8-minute mark?
I don't even want to I think it's not condoned. I think you don't see that in sports. The last time we saw somebody do that, I think in any sporting event, wasn't it Antonio Brown when the game was still going on and he was just like taking off his jersey and just left, and then everybody was like, "Oh man!" Even though I'm not saying that Ant-Man is anything like Antonio Brown, so let me just state that point. But I think that's the last time we've seen something like that. You know what I'm saying? Facts. So I think that it wasn't expected, and the Spurs, I think Stephen Castle was like, he thought it was cool that Ant-Man came and gave him, dapped him up and stuff like that, because he knew he wasn't coming back in the game. But I say true sportsmanship is sitting there, taking your medicine, taking your butt kicking that you're getting, and acknowledging that these guys beat you down, and just give them a handshake at the end of the game and wish them luck in the next round. That's what we're used to seeing. Like Ant-Man doing that. I like it. He lost some cool points for me.
Facts, dude. Facts. All right. This leads up to the Spurs and OKC in the Western Conference Finals. As you know, the Spurs won the head-to-head 4-1 this season, pretty much stomping on OKC. Walt, I'm going to kick it off. Who do you like in this series, and why, and how many games?
Oh man, if we look at the regular season record, then of course it will be easy for me to say the Spurs, right? I think also OKC are the defending champs. I think they're motivated. SGA, just got that award, even though I don't necessarily think he was the one who should have got it. But I want to say the Spurs, but just something about it. OKC just knows what they're doing. They're in the playoffs. They're fully assembled now. Jalen Williams is back. He's not on the injury report, so we're going to see him play in the game. So I think that just because of that, and because they've been there before, I kind of want to lean towards OKC, but this is a toss-up because these are two very good teams and both are capable.
Mm-hmm.
But just because they've been there before, I would probably lean towards OKC, but I think this is going at least 6, if not 7 games. Like there's not one team that's just that much more dominant. This is going to come down to who can make the plays in those final moments and who's going to hit those shots or make those defensive stops at the end of the game. And right now, I have to give that thin edge,
that little smidge,
that slither of an edge to OKC.
Okay. Before I go to Mac, let me shout out some people. Chris Patton in the house. Hey, down, go, bro. Oh, my God. Please stop. Please stop. Oh, my God. Here we go. Raves. Oh, all right. Mac, what you got, man?
The number I'm going to talk to you guys is called 8. It just happens it was 8 minutes that that other team called Minnesota, one player decided to exit, and it has been 8 years since the Spurs have made the postseason. So with that being said, I think OKC is going to win the series. They would have rather played, absolutely would have rather played the Timberwolves. Absolutely. This kid, I mean, Wemby might get inspired. Me being the president of the society, he might be inspired to go on a tear and say, I was third in the MVP race. Wasn't even close. Jokic got more votes than him. So I would understand if he's playing with a little bit of chip of like pissed off attitude. Like, okay, I'm going to show y'all why I should have been the MVP. He might come in with that, that kind of attitude. It's just, I think it's going to be a tall order. I think inexperience is going to hurt him, versus help him. And that will be the real straw that we're going to see, either break the back, inexperience, or that motivation to try and win it because I wanted to be MVP. Y'all know I should have been MVP. Fine. Like, you know what I mean? It just depends. I just think that lack of experience is going to hurt him. I think OKC is going to win the series, though. Probably, I'm 6. They're not going to go. They're not going to go.
All right. I hate to make it a trifecta, but unfortunately, I probably will. I'm going with OKC for 2 reasons. Williams is back. Williams is a beast. He grabs rebounds. He steals. He can shoot. They have better 3-point shooting. As the vice president of operations for the Wemby Hater Society, Wemby's one air throw away from being hurt. So I think that could be a huge factor. And OKC just, I feel, to Mac's point, they feel slighted. People are just poo-pooing on them because the Spurs have beat them so many times. But push comes to shove, dude. This team is just, they got 2 big 7-footers. They got the shooting. They got the bench. It's going to be very, very close, to Walt's point. But I'm going to go with OKC, and I'm going to say 6 or 7 as well. But it's going to be very close.
Yeah, it's going to be a great series.
It's going to be a great series. I feel like, Now, if God forbid somebody major gets hurt, that will change everything, the whole trajectory of the series. Hopefully not, but everybody's healthy. If everybody's healthy, yeah, I could see this going, 6 or 7. But I'm going to K-State. Unfortunately, me and Mack are eating pie because the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the stuffing. Let me have another piece of pie. Beat the stuffing out of Detroit in Game 7, home. 125 to 94. To go to the Eastern Conference Finals. All right, I will kick this off. Cape Cunningham, I feel bad for you, man. You got no squad on your team to help you out. You're on an island by yourself right now. You've got no more rough ends. No more. He got no more help.
No more.
No more. No more.
No more. Yeah.
Yeah, he got no more. And no more shopping sprees. Like some bench helpy. He's got nothing. He's by himself. Can someone make a basket? He's by himself. I feel bad for you. Kudos to Spider. He showed up, showed out. I'm shocked that Detroit didn't play with much more heart in a Game 7 at home. I have no words. I don't know that Spider had that much in him. I didn't know that Cunningham was literally on an island by themselves. I'll revert to that movie with Tom Hanks, Castaway. It's just him and the ball. I'm like, dude, it's sad. Making someone else. Wilson, make a basket, dude. Make a basket. I was like, come on, dude. Rough, dude. I watched a little bit of it, and I just said, oh, let me go get my shirt. Let me go get this pie. This is a wrap. Me and Mack are texting back and forth. I'm like, dang. Back again with this. Man, Nostradamus Walt again. Can't believe this. Well, kick it off. What do you contribute to this victory, and how do you feel?
Look, I feel great, first of all, because my guys who I appreciate and respect, they are true champions, and they're really humble for doing this. Because I could be talking trash, America, because of all the stuff. You guys just see what's on the show. You don't see the text messages and the prayers that they send up in order to try to win. You know what I'm saying? So like it's all good, man. I appreciate these guys doing it. And if you ever want to see them or any of us eat a pie or whatever, and you want to pick the pie, go ahead and do it. Put it in the comments and we'll do it. We'll honor it. Almost any pie. Like
almost any
crazy.
pie. Nothing crazy, but
I'm not eating rhubarb.
Yeah, no rhubarb. But I'll do key lime, cherry. I'm very flexible, so it is what it is. But
so with the Cavs, right? I just saw the writing on the wall. Cade Cunningham was lights out for most of the series, right? We seen it. He's seen him be dynamic, and part of me, like watching Game 6, was like, man, the Cavs might be out of there. But the Cavs are a different team than the Orlando Magic, right? And I think they're a better team than the Orlando Magic, right? So I think that Detroit, kudos to them. They won on Cleveland's home floor and took it to Game 7. But Cade Cunningham, he just did not have a good game, and there was nobody there to support him. You can't need the strength of the Justice League and only have Batman on your team, right? Batman can do some things, but he can't save the world by himself if you need the Justice League. And Thompson, he's a great defender, but they left him wide open for open shots, and he's not really a scorer, right? So they need a guy who can help, who can score. I wish they had somebody like OG on their team.
Yes,
that's who I wish they had on their team right now, because I think that would have made a difference for them. Harden, he did just enough. Harden played good in a couple of games where Mitchell was kind of struggling, and then in this last game, Harden struggled, but Mitchell and the rest of the guys, Merrill was shooting lights out from three, Strus was shooting lights out, and Mobley's been consistent. Nobody really talks about him, but he's been consistent as well. So the Cavs, to me, were just the better team at the end of the day.
All right, Mack, what you got, man? First, let me have another bite of pie.
Yeah. I just finished mine. I just showed America my bowl is empty. America, this is one of these where me and Ray were emphatic, like you are out of your noggin of thinking that how is Detroit going to lose at the crib? Walt took it like a champ. He was like, hey, and he brought this up on air, America. He did like this and this. And I'm like, I said, oh, 2 for the road? No, I'm 2-0 in the pie challenges, bro. Remember that. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, there's no way they're going to lose. And he's right. Me and Ray, we took choices on who's going to pray to God first. And I'm like, I'll ask him. I said, last time you did, Luca was supposed to be back and he never showed up. I'll ask. So that's the kind of fun we have, America.
Yeah, it's all.
But it came down to, exactly what some of Walt's facts were. I mean, he just said, he was like, listen, he just does not have a solid 2 guy. He doesn't have a Robin. They want him to do it all, and he had for 6 games. He just couldn't do it for 7. And and it's unfortunate. I thought the crowd would be more involved, but they weren't. They just never had a lead. I'm sorry. They took the lead for like 2 points, but then the rest of the game was down the rest of the game. Like, they could not get over the hump.
And they weren't even getting up for them, not even trying to motivate them.
Like, but at least everyone stayed on the sideline of the court all the way to 0. Unlike some other guy who shall not be named in like Harry Potter world. So it's one of them deals where it's unfortunate. We'll be back next year. Well,
I will say that, man, Tobias Harris, dude, he couldn't hit the river if he was trying to make a shot. He was like, I don't know. And Durham was not, dude, the team was just like, it was literally watching Castaway, dude. Poor Kid Cunningham was by himself, dude, all alone on a Sunday morning outside.
Spalding, where are you going? Not Wilson, like, Spalding.
Wow. Crazy. All right, so now this leads us to the Cavs and the New York Knicks, and this is going to be the battle of the battles. Hold on a second, let me get this keyed up.
Yeah, it's definitely be the battles of the battles. Man.
Battle of the battles. So it is Cavs and Knicks. They are 1 apiece. However, the loss that the Cleveland had was before James Harden was on that team. Who do you like, Mack, and why? And then I will go to Walt, and then I will close in this series. Give it to us, brother.
All right. My first answer is going to be no comment. I am at a loss of who's going to win this series just because how they rallied in Game 7 when we didn't think they were going to win either. And I have concerns for Harden, but Harden did okay. And on the strength of Harden's past history, I'm going with the Knicks. But my concern with the Knicks is going to be they're hot and cold. We've talked about this at least 2 or 3 episodes ago. They're just not consistent the whole time. Spike Lee better be praying to the Joe Boo doll of something, man. Like, these dudes they're just not consistent enough. I don't know, man.
All right, well,
Game 3.
All right, Nostradamus, what do you got, brother?
Yeah.
Nostradamus, man. Look, I think that, the Cavs, they've had a good run, but I think I just honestly think that the Knicks are locked in, and I think they have their eye on the ball. And as currently constructed, both teams, the Knicks have a superior roster because they have guys like OG who can play defense and score, right?
You love some OG.
Yeah, I do. I think if you look at some of the games in this pro season, he's been the guy that's carried the team. He's played defense and scored.
Yes.
So he's been the guy. Like when Brunson had an off night or Townsend had an off night or was more of a facilitator, it was OG that was like doing his thing before he got injured, right? And the Knicks still mollywop. Who did they play? Who did mollywop? The Atlanta Hawks, right? They still they still mollywop the Atlanta Hawks without being at full strength. So I think that this is gonna go 6. I think the Knicks are gonna win it in 6, 4-2. I think the Cavs win a game at home and maybe still a game in New York, but I think other than that, the Knicks are gonna handle the business. Donovan Mitchell is dynamic and great. Harden, I think, when we saw him get pressured, he had a bunch of turnovers. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen this season. I mean, in this series, I think they're not. I just think that the Cavs are not going to be able to overcome it. They were able to overcome it because of Detroit's deficiencies. New York doesn't have those same issues. So I think that the Cavs are going to have their work cut out for them. And I think this mountain is just too insurmountable for them. So Knicks in 6.
Okay. I am going to, again, have to be part of the trifecta. I am taking the Knicks. And this is why. Knicks have so many reasons. I'm trying to think what I can start with first.
Okay.
The Knicks have a deeper bench, and James Harden is going to do James Harden things at the end of the day when the chips are down, and I need you to come through. James Harden, Matt, can you put your hands around your throat, please? He's going to do that. He's going to choke. So I have no faith in James Harden getting to the finals. The Knicks seem like they're a destined team to get there. They have more heart. They have a deeper bench. OG, to your point, dude, yeah, he's playing both sides. Donovan Mitchell is, in my opinion, the best player out of both teams. But I think that Harden is the choke of chokes, and he will let you down. He will let you down when you think he's going to come through. He will have another construction job and lay like 15 to 16 bricks and build a house and cost them to lose. So I would say the Knicks in 5, maybe 6. Cleveland, kudos to them, but I don't see it. My question to you guys before we switch topics on the next one: if Cleveland steals a game in New York, is there any possible way that they could win this series? You know, forgetting other variables, do you see there a scenario? And I'll go to Walt first, where Cleveland could pull this out.
The only way that Cleveland could win this game is if we get Houston Rockets Harden to show up. That's the only way. And that's not going to happen. He's a shell of himself. And, you know, I was riding with him against Detroit because of the rosters. But this New York team is, you know, they're the number 1 offense in the league for a reason. And they can play defense. So, there's nothing in my mind that the Cavs can do except hope and pray that James Harden like goes in the time machine, gets his former self, and switches places with them. That's it.
All right. Mr. Whitfield says Knicks in 6. I hate saying it. That's a Phillies fan.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's saying that the Knicks will win a game in Cleveland. I appreciate you.
Yep.
All right,
Mac, what do you think, man?
You know, I'm not going against Walt, bro. He is the NBA guru for our squad here. I don't know, he must have some insider trade information because he hasn't been wrong yet with the last series. Like he goes, I just see it. I'm like, well, show me with your fogged lenses that I didn't see. But he was like, I just can tell. And I'm like, brother, these aren't horses where you line up at the Kentucky Derby and hit his eyes and say he doesn't have it today. So I don't know, man. Like this is, like I said before, he made a good point. Walt made a good point. If something happens where Harden just goes back to what he normally is, then great. Unless an injury happens, like I just don't see. Like I said, I'm kind of neutral in this one. Talk to me at game 3, and I'll give a better opinion. Okay. I just don't have enough ammo to shoot for either one of them to say it straight.
Fair enough. All right. The other news in the NBA, there's 2 other big news. Is SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, won MVP this year. He was one of the first people to win back-to-backs in a long time. I don't think he deserved MVP. I could think of 2 people that deserved it better. I think Nikola Jokic deserved it a little more. And, of course, Ozempa Luka deserved it way more. He's a bigger contributor to his team. He does more for his team. Only thing SGA is better at than those 2 guys is flopping and complaining. He's very good at both of those things. He's a great player, but OKC could win a couple of games without them. You saw what the Lakers did without Ozempa Luka. I feel like he's a more valuable asset. So that's why I think SGA did not deserve MVP. I know Mack is burning, so go ahead, Mack. Do you think he deserved it? And if so, if not, who did?
Walter, What is my famous phrase? The best ability is what, sir?
Availability.
Exactly. Availability. Your boy Luca didn't make the cut because he did not play enough games to be eligible. It is great. You can be what you want to in the regular season, but when the heat turns up when it matters the most, you got to be available for your team. He went over to Croatia, wherever he went to try and get some mystical elixir. Barcelona to get some elixir or whatever.
I said elixir.
Lion's blood transfer. I don't know what he tried to do, but it didn't work. So my man is back again, you know. I'm sorry. Okay, so I do believe he played 64, but you need 65 to get in. But didn't
he protest to Adam Silver and it got it revoked? They allowed him to be in the running. He just didn't. They allowed him to be
in the running. Oh. Okay, well here's the deal, America. You know, our boy SGA got 939. Djokovic got 7 something, and then this guy Wemby got like 6 something. So you know, it was like this huge disparity as far as the votes go. Listen, man, SGA, you can call him what you want to call him. The guy's been leading this year with the fashion industry, wearing some crazy stuff that I wouldn't wear, but the boy's balling and he's available. Period. They want this award to be for someone. It's called, you know, most valuable player for the league. He has been available more than any of them. Djokovic, I understand he had an opportunity, but he got it a couple years ago. And then that one year that Joel Embiid, me being the president of his hater club, he can't say healthy club. So there's just one thing where I listen, Silverman made a very good point. There's got to be a bar. It can't be fan approval because we like him, and he deserved it for the 40 games that he played. When there's 82, so I think he deserved it hands down.
Okay, what you got, Mr. Duncan?
I think, you know, SGA. He's a dynamic player. You know, MVP candidate as he should be. I know what you're gonna say, Ray. You know, and Mack probably, but you know, I just think for Jokic to average a triple-double at his position, I think this is like another season in a row that he's done this like consistently. He played in enough games. I think he should have edged it out, but that's just my opinion because I'm not saying he's the flashiest player, but I just like the fact that he rebounds, he assists. He's like one of the top players in assists, and he leads in rebounding. Like for a big man to do that, like come on. And he averaged flowers, and he can score, right? But I think the bigger argument should be should the NBA look at the metrics that they use in order to pick the MVP, right? Because they look at the team seeding, right? So where your team is ranked. So OKC was a number 1 seed in the West, right? SGA, you know, he played the most games, like you stated. Mack, he played 68 games. Jokic played 65, and Luka played 64. And Wemby, I don't know how many he played. I think he played 60 something as well, 65 games. And you know, and they look at the defensive metrics as well and total missed games. So I guess when they all put that into the computer, it spit out, SGA. So
okay,
you know, so I get why based on the metrics that the NBA uses to spit it out. And I also think people might have gotten burnout if Joker won another one like that, right? Because they'd be like, okay, this guy's always winning. Like he can't always win. Right. So I think they want to like kind of break it up a little bit. So that's just my opinion.
Good points, dude. Good. So we're all in conclusion that Luka should be MVP. Thank you. I agree. All right. Next topic is Jamal Mosley. Jamal Mosley has gotten a new contract. He is leaving the Orlando Magic, and he is part of the New Orleans Pelicans. He's gotten a 5-year deal. He led Orlando to the playoffs. He has a winning record. I'm very surprised Orlando let him go. We had this conversation off air. Who won on this, and how do you see this going long term? Do you see him playing out his contract, Walt? And do you think this was a good move for both teams? Or give me your whole take on this.
I like him as a coach. I want to see what he does if he has players available to him. They have a solid roster. They have Zion. They have Jordan Poole, who was acquired with the Washington trade that sent Trae Young to Washington. They have Trey Murphy, DeJounte Moore, who also came from the Hawks. Derek Queen, who they drafted at big man, and Sadiq Bey at small forward. I don't know if any of these guys are free agents this season, so we'll see if they're going to be, the roster is going to be constructed differently. But I think he has enough pieces in place. I think he might need a superstar to get him over the edge, to come there. But I like this for Jamal because he took the Orlando Magic with a limited roster, injury plague roster to 3 back-to-back seasons, playoffs in 3 back-to-back seasons, right? So I think that he is capable. I want to see what he does on maybe a better team. I don't know if he has a player on the team right now like he had in Banchero, but maybe they can get one in the draft. Hopefully, we'll see. I think they have one of the top picks. I have to look at it, so fact check me on that, guys, to see what the number pick that they're going to get. But if they get a good guy in the draft, who knows, man? He might have a solid team that can compete. Are they going to beat the OKCs and the Spurs? Maybe not. But
or the Lakers. Yes, I agree.
but we'll see, right? So kudos to Jamal. I think it's good for New Orleans as well. I think Orlando, I don't know who they're going to get to come in and coach that team. And I don't know if it's going to be anybody better than Jamal was. So we'll see.
All right, Mac, what you got, sir?
I'm looking at this through a different lens.
Okay.
My thought is why did Orlando let this man go? I mean, I know why the Pelicans picked him up. We need some stability. We need some veteran leadership as far as the standpoint, as far as coaching history. But Orlando, I guess I understand kind of why they let him go. I mean, they blew a 3-1 series lead and a 24-point collapse in that Detroit game, game 7. I mean, that kind of was. But just like you just mentioned, Walt, who are you going to get this better? There's some reasons where they talk about like the stagnant offense wasn't necessarily thriving like they should have. They just did not have a strong defensive identity. I mean, like Mosley, he was able to modernize, and get him playing well. But like that half court offense, it just weren't consistent enough and it wasn't ranking well in the league. I mean, like the playoff loss, I get it. He was with him 5 seasons. It was ugly. And then I think some of the other reasons like this unfulfilled expectations sometimes that lingers with coaches also too. We've been in playoffs this minute. This is a year we're going to get over the hump. But at least you're a relevant franchise. That's what I don't get. They haven't been relevant for a long time, fellas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like Phoenix has a team. I unfortunately always throw in the Sacramento Kings all the time. They have a franchise, but they're not relevant. The Pelicans, since they've been a franchise, have just not been relevant. Has not been relevant. We all thought Zion Williams was going to be the answer. He was going to be the key. He's the solution. He's it. And he has turned out not to be his projected capability. The other guy who went number 2, named Ja Morant, went to the Grizzlies. He turned out to have a better career than him at this point, but all of his personal issues, but he's been available better health-wise than Zion has been also too. So I get some of, the reason why Orlando wants a new voice, but who are you going to get? And that's my thing. Who are you going to get? At least the Pelicans know what they have with him versus with Orlando. I don't know who they're going to get that's going to help him.
All right. I'll make it short and sweet. I think Orlando had a great coach. I think New Orleans is benefiting tremendously. This guy's got got them to the playoffs 3 years in a row. New Orleans has a decent squad. I don't know if they have a phenomenal squad. They're going to have to get another superstar to Walt's point. But, we shall see. I just, don't know who Orlando's going to get now. Like, what coach is available that you would want? I mean, there's a lot of coaches that are sitting on the couch I haven't coached in years. Do I really want that person? You know what I mean? Like, there's almost so much out there, Zion is young, and he's a good player, but I don't know, dude. You got to build around him. We shall see, dude. All right, we're switching to MMA, and the talk of the town is Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. Ronda Rousey tapped her out in 17 seconds. I'm going to make this quick. This was a waste of time. I don't understand why people were hyped about this. You know, Gina hasn't fought since 2009 prior to this. Ronda Rousey's last fight was 2016. There was a tweet by Amanda Nunes saying she would want to fight her. I know Ronda Rousey says she's done. She's going to, you know, work on with her family and she's done. Please, Ronda, stick to your word. I think enjoy your family. You made your million. God bless you. This was horrible. Thank God this was on Netflix, which obviously is a paid service, but this was a pay-per-view. I probably would be at Best Buy looking for a new TV because I probably would have broke mine. Mac, what do you think of this?
Listen, we're just gonna call it what it is. We all know what it is. Her net worth is around 14 mil. I don't see why she wants to, but this is a money grab. Her name does not need to be in spotlights anymore. When she showed up in AEW, I'm like, hey! And of course, Ray was like, nah, not at all. And you're right, it was for a show with the precursor to this is now, I think, is why. She showed up adding, I mean, it was a wrestling, mind you, it was wrestling. She had wrestled with, you know, with WWE, the other organization. But then again, she's known for MMA. And you're right, Amanda Nunes has every right to call her out because she's the one who put her in green pastures. Embarrassed her, if I remember right.
You remember well, dude.
Yeah, man, like beat her behind. She did not have a shot in HE double hockey sticks. So I have no idea why Carano would even want to. I mean, this is going to help her pay wise. You know what I mean? You know, 17 seconds. Well, do you want to maybe if I can make 19 seconds, it'll be better. But Netflix is going to pay her some decent dough to get in the ring. So I understand, but the value of it, I mean, I'm not going to watch. I've got Netflix. I'm like, why?
All right, well.
So look, it's definitely a money grab. Mack has hit the nail on the head again here, and I think just the base pay that they were guaranteed, Ronda Rousey was like around estimated 2.2 million, and Carano was a little over 1 million in just base pay. That's not even like any like off like site events or like promotional stuff that they did. So I'm sure they made money that way. It was because of Ronda Rousey. Carano, you know, she had some success in, you know, the fight game, but she went out to do movies and became an actor and everything, right? So she had more success there than in MMA. So I think everybody was kind of expecting Rousey to win this. I was hoping that it would go longer than 17 seconds, but shoot, let me jump in the ring with somebody for 17 seconds and make a cool milli. I'll do that too.
You could snap my arm in two for $1 million. I'm good with that, dude. We on the other side of that. All right, the other fight was Francis Ngannou versus Felipe Lins. For those who don't know who Felipe Lins is, Walt and his lady were out at a restaurant on Saturday night, and he was the guy that valeted your car. So I hope you tipped him pretty well. He seemed like a nice guy. So this is a good fight for him, I guess. You know, Lins made I think $100,000. I think Ngannou offered some of this money. The prelude to this is after he won this fight, he's calling out John Bones Jones. John Bones Jones is still officially part of UFC. He's trying to get out of his contract because he was kind of snubbed for this big UFC fight in the White House. I will start this off, and then I want to go to Mack and Walt. Ngannou, you fought, like I said, basically Walt's valet driver. So kudos to you for that. You calling out John Jones is ridiculous. John Jones, for those who don't know, was the interim heavyweight champion before he pretty much retired from UFC. The circle is Ngannou fought the champion Cyril Gane. It went to a decision. He was losing the fight. He came back and won, to his credit. But then, at the end of the day, John Jones fought Cyril Gane and beat him, I want to say, in under 30 seconds. He mollywopped him. The person that Ngannou struggled with, John Jones mopped up with. So I don't know why you think your results against John Jones would be better. You struggle with the guy that John Jones destroyed to become heavyweight champion in UFC. Destroyed. So now, all of a sudden, now you're gonna do something. So I don't know, dude. God bless you. Go with God. I don't see it.
Go with God.
All right, Mac, what you got, brother?
Well, let's clarify one thing. It is John Bones Jones,
I
America.
apologize. You were correct.
That's
Let me
what
put
he
some
goes
respect
in
on
the
that.
ring as. Right, exactly. Put some respect on that man's name. Each prefers John Bones Jones. Yeah, I understand why Francis, I understand why he did, because Jones has got a name. Mr. Bones Jones has a name. I mean, Gone is nice, but Francis, stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your pay grade, bro. You keep calling out, trying to cash a check that your rear end can't, is what's going to happen. And Jones graciously said, you know what? It's not sanctioned. It's not official MMA. Why not? Dana White said he don't want me no more. I'll go get this paycheck. Why not? And so we all know that's the name we know. Francis is a nice guy. You're right, Ray. He's got some cachet, but everyone knows John Bone Jones. Everyone knows who the guy is, and that's why you need a name for it to work. So yeah,
I feel you.
Good luck. May the force be with him.
All right, Walt, what do you got, sir?
No, Mac is right. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet here. You both kind of alluded to it. It's a money grab. I think they're not friends. Him and John aren't friends, but I think they've kind of spoke glowingly of each other in past years, like just kind of respecting each other and like kind of hinting that they might want to fight each other eventually. So this is definitely like he would ride on the coattails of John Bones Jones, and make a payday. Right. So I think that's all it is here. He's trying to call him out. Unfortunately, John is under contract with the UFC, and he was recently beefing with Dana White. So I don't know how that's going to go. So we'll see.
We shall see. All right. Our last topic of the day is Mr. Aaron Rodgers. For those who don't know, Aaron Rodgers is a big baby who plays for the Green Bay Packers. He just signed a 1-year, $25 million contract to stay in Green Bay with his buddy Mike McCarthy.
Whoa. Ray. You said 25 mil?
25 million, 22 guaranteed. Yes, I vomited as well. All right, Mac, I can see the frustration in your voice and in your face. Is this going to impact Green Bay, and why do they pay him all this money?
Steelers.
Yeah. So yeah, he did play for
Steelers. I apologize.
That's fine, bro. It doesn't matter anyway. He ain't gonna do nothing this year. So all right. I'm sorry. I want to be respectful to the man. He's making more than a 25 mil. 22 guaranteed. This comes down to one thing with the Steelers. Now, I have a friend who's a diehard Steelers fan, not Steelers. I have a best friend who is a diehard Steelers fan, and he hated the idea last year with him on the team, and I'm pretty sure he's not excited this year. The way he held the team for ransom last year was absolutely ridiculous. They should have made a decision on what they're going to do. McCarthy had to sit down with them. Of course, we want to keep you around. However, they absolutely exercise an option that's rarely seen with a player like him. And they was able to secure him and said if another team wants to, they have to give him a draft pick. So that's why he realized I can't go anywhere. So I better, if I want to play, go back to the Steelers. That's what this is, because there's no other 31 teams that'll take this guy from what the headache he does every time he tries to play. Period.
All right.
Well, the Jets.
I'll let you summarize this. Go ahead.
Look, I'm questioning what the Steelers are doing, right? Like, I understand Aaron Rodgers is who he is. He's won multiple MVPs. He's won a Super Bowl, dynamic arm and everything. But since he won that Super Bowl, he's 7-11 in the playoffs, right? He doesn't have a winning record, right? So I'm like, you've seen this guy try to go to different places. He didn't do too much for you last year. He was okay in certain games. He's a shell of himself. So I'm a little perplexed by it. You could have used some of that money to show up other things on your team. You drafted a young quarterback. I think you have some other guy in there as well. Put the young quarterback in. I know you have Pittman and and who's the other guy? Metcalf at wide receiver now, and Dotto at running back, and Warren there, one running back. You have a solid defense, but Pittsburgh always usually has a pretty solid defense. So I think they're trying to like see what Rodgers can do with an upgraded, I guess a little bit of an upgraded offense. And now that you have Pittman there as well, but I don't know. I just don't see them making that much noise. I could be wrong. Aaron Rodgers, like in some of those games, like sometimes we see flashes of his old self pop up. But I just don't know if it was wise for the Steelers to do that. Not 22 million, 23 million guaranteed with those incentives. I don't even see Pittsburgh getting into the playoffs this year, honestly.
Yeah, I feel to both your points, you have a young backup quarterback that should be getting some shine. Aaron Rodgers is 42. He signed a 1-year deal, so you know he's not staying past that, most likely. Well, who knows, because Aaron Rodgers, he's weird. You know, what do you think is going to accomplish? I don't think he's going to get the Steelers to the promised land. The team is decent, but they're not world beaters. You know, Pittman is good. They have decent defense. You know, Aaron Rodgers, you know, he's Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't been great since he won that Super Bowl. His record speaks for itself. So I don't get it. I'm a little confused. I didn't realize Mike McCarthy had this much pull to get him to sign and get him that money. I guess he's passing the ayahuasca around to the whole team, and they're all taking a hit of it. I don't know, dude. It's a little weird, dude. It's a little weird. All right, let's go to the final buzzer. This is where you could ask us anything about anything. Get your comments in. We have a lot, so let me get to some of these. Jeff Peters says, if the Knicks lay down and play dead, is the only way the Cavs are winning the series.
Yep.
Wow. Jeff, tell us how you really feel. Maurice is in the house. Pie eating wig. Yes, it is. Yes. Now, Timmy Gonzalez. Good to see you, brother. Thank you. Question: if NBC offered y'all courtside seats to see the Thunder versus Spurs game, and they say we'll give you $500 to spend on food and drinks, what would you order? Woo! That's a good question. Okay, Mack is a foodie, so go ahead, Mack.
Okay. I'm gonna get some good wings. Probably some fries. I'm diabetic, so I'll make sure I watch. I'll probably have maybe 1 or 2 drinks, and that'll probably burn it all up with $500. It could get you much at a stadium. No. You know what? No. I'm gonna go get some Cheers stuff or whatever. Maybe some Thunder.
Maybe one of those thumbs thingies.
Yeah, one of the thumbs, and go get an SGA head. Bobblehead. Yeah, I'm all in for it.
All right, Walt, you got $500. What are you getting?
I'm gonna get maybe some wings and nachos. You know, like it's nachos, it's hard to mess those up. So definitely some nachos. maybe a beer, like a beer or two. And if I have some friends with me, I'll order them something as well. But that's about it, man. I'm a little bit older. I got the bad guts like Craig's daddy on Friday, so I gotta watch myself. Gotta watch myself, you know.
That's right.
Well, I'm gonna say this too. If I'm bringing one of my boys, then obviously I'm gonna treat to you guys. So, you know, 1 drink maybe, definitely some wings. We agree on the wings. Definitely getting some wings. Maybe some fries. I'll probably like Mac. You know. If we're at the Thunder game, so I'll probably get like an SGA like hat or something, you know, just to root for the team, and you know, I'll go from there. But yeah, that'll be a good time. Good question. Absolutely. And he's also asking Mack and Walt in the Pro Thunder game, how many times do you think you will go into overtime?
Oh, that is a good question.
That's man. Tim is on fire right now.
Yeah. Question. Timbo is on fire, Mr. Gonzalez. Yeah. I'm thinking at least 2 of these games are going to go at least to overtime. At least 2, because this series. Okay, I'm going to call it now. Whoever wins this series is winning all of it. I think, because I think this series is going to show the grit. I think at least 2 games are going to make it to overtime. It's going to be who had the ball last. I think there's going to be some buzzer beaters. I can't wait for this series.
Okay. How many overtimes, Mr.
Nostradamus? I have to agree. I think there's going to be 2 overtime games in that series. And I think we're going to see – I think it's going to be earlier in the series, maybe around game 2 or 3. And I think because I think it's going to go 7 games. I think game 7 is going to be overtime as well.
All right.
Yeah.
And Jeff also says it's not like Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do anything this year. They just kicked themselves out of the first or second round of the playoffs at best. Facts, dude. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the show. I got love for everybody. He says, rah, rah, rah. He's funny, dude. You are funny. All right. Before we go, next week, obviously, will be Memorial Day weekend, so we will probably not be doing the show. We'll probably do the show the following week, obviously. But before we go, somebody has a birthday on the 25th, so I want to especially wish Nostradamus, Walter Duncan, early happy birthday, brother. You are such a great asset to this team. Dude, we got so much love for you. You are an amazing dude. You can just bring the thunder every week. So I want to wish you a happy birthday. My brother in Gemini. We have the Gemini connection because my birthday is the day after. So we have the Gemini bond. So happy birthday, my dude. Happy birthday. God bless you.
And happy to Ray for you as well on that Tuesday, brother. 26th.
Happy birthday, Ray.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
All right.
I can't think of a better person who we do this show with, Walt. You're so deserving, brother. Just so you guys know, Walt is supporting some events also too, and in reference to his birthday. So I just want to say thank you, brother, for all the work that you do. The Duncan data is 100% appreciated, man.
Oh, you got a happy birthday from Timmy.
Man. Thank you, brother.
All right, Mac, I'm going to let you say goodbye first. Go ahead.
All right, no problem at all, America. I just want to say, as usual, please like, share, and subscribe to our show. I want to give a shout out to Garvin's Getaways for any of your travel needs you may want or need. Please DM me, and I will pass information on for whether it be airline, destinations, cruises, locations. She will give you detailed advice and help you out. I also want to give a shout out to Lonnie Best, a new music artist, helping promote her music. The title of her album is I Write How I Feel. So I just want to give a shout out to her as well. And thank you all so much for Boink Studios.
All right, birthday man, say your parting shouts.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you and Mac. I'm humbled. I'm grateful for our listeners, our fans. You guys make it what it is for us, and you're the reason why we do this and why we love it so much. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Shout out to Boink Studios. If you want to know more about payroll, search It's About Payroll podcast. You'll find the podcast there. It's very good information.
Facts.
And happy birthday to you, Ray.
Thank you, brother.
You're the brains behind this. You and Mac allow me to come on this journey with you, and I'm glad to be here and to the moon and back, sir.
Yes, indeed. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Another edition of Ray Sports and Slams. I want to wish everybody a great holiday weekend. I want to wish my wife a happy anniversary. It is early, but since we will not be on the show next week, I would wish Mrs. All Day, the ruler of the house, the reason when the house is intact, the reason I'm functioning and able to dress is all her, dude. So much love to the wife. Thank you guys for supporting us. I appreciate all the love. And I will see you in 2 weeks with more fire, more heat, more just flame throwing. We'll talk about basketball. Nostradamus Walt will probably tell us who's going to win and why. And he'll probably tell what I'm going to have for dinner. He'll predict when Mack's going to cough and sneeze. It's going to be incredible. He's got some amazing talent. So you get to see that next week. Actually, in 2 weeks, I should say. Have a good night, folks. Ray Sports and Slams. See you when I see you.